Welcome back everybody to Myelin and Me, or should I say PIP and Me, because this is a PIP episode. So picture this, right? You've just had your PIP letter. You open it and your heart sinks. You haven't got enough points. Or worse, you don't qualify at all. You know, it feels like they've completely ignored everything you've said. But here's the thing, right? People who challenge that decision win. So don't give up yet, okay? We've got this, and I'm going to show you in this episode how we get around it, right? So we're going to do something called a mandatory reconsideration, all right? Or we'll call it MR for short, because it just makes things easy rather than saying mandatory reconsideration all the time, okay? So this is where you ask the DWP to look at your case again. So you're not asking them because, I want to be nice. No. You're showing them their decision is wrong, right? You've got 1 month to do it, so don't wait. Use that time to gather examples, supporting letters, and extra evidence, right? Because we're going to do this and we're going to win it. Don't worry, we're going to win it, right? Stick with me. So when you do this consideration, right, you don't need legal language or fancy words. Just explain how your condition affects you using, the golden rules: safely, reliably, repeatedly, and reasonably. Okay, go through the activities and say whether they've underestimated you. If they said you can walk 200 meters, but you can't do that safely, say why. Give real examples. It's about facts, not feelings. Okay, and they miss it. They miss it all the time. They've ticked their box like they've got to, and they've ticked the wrong one. Okay? Like, we know that medical letters help, but they're not everything. The best evidence shows, how your life is affected. There could be, care plans, occupational therapy reports, or letters from family even. Even, a simple daily diary can make a huge difference. If fatigue means you have to rest after every task, write it down, okay? Get it all written down on paper, because if you don't write it down, it don't happen. Remember that. So if the DWP refuses to change their mind, your case can go to something called a tribunal. That sounds scary, but here's the truth. Tribunals are independent. They're not DWP staff. They actually listen. You'll talk to a panel, which is usually a doctor, a disability specialist, and a judge. They just want the truth about your everyday life. And it's at this point, right, 70% of people win at this stage. So you're like, oh, I can't do it. But 70%, that's 7 in 10. I've seen people appeal and they nearly give up. I thought, don't. Just keep going. Get some help. Add a little bit of new evidence if you need to, right? And then 2 months later, they got enhanced mobility and daily living. The relief for them was unreal. So trust me, it's definitely worth fighting for. It really, really is. So if your PIP decision feels unfair, don't accept it. Please appeal. You've got the right to challenge it, and the odds are on your side. So, be honest, be detailed, and don't give up. I'm going to carry on posting videos, till the cows come home. But this one is a really important one, and I want to make this system a lot less confusing for people. After you get refused, or if you even get refused, you might be lucky. But if you get refused, you've still got another 2 bites of that cherry. Your mandatory reconsideration, or MR as we like to say, right? And if that don't work, go to a tribunal, where 7 out of every 10 people, right, let that sink in, are successful. They get it. They'll get it from there. So you've got nothing to lose. We can win this, and we'll keep going. We'll keep going. There's going to be lots of things, out there for help and things like that. As I said before, I'm not a medical professional. I've got no legal background, but I just want to help people get what they deserve. All right. So if you've enjoyed this video, there's going to be a link at the bottom for a playlist with everything PIP wise, and there's going to be more. So if you liked it, please give me a subscribe and a like. It's totally free. I hope my advice helps you. If it does, please put it in the comments. I reply to every single comment. So good luck with everything. We can win this. Take care.